When you're working inside of Corel Draw, a vector illustration tool, it differs somewhat from working inside of a bitmap editing tool, something where you're working with your pictures, your photographs. In a bitmap program, it's common to pick up a brush and just paint on the canvas or paint on your image. And that's something that feels very natural to us because we're used to working with pencils and pens on a piece of paper. When you're working in the vector illustration world, there are components to every object, and every object is made up of a series of elements. Let's take a look at those now. I'm working with the Pick tool, our basic selection tool, and I'm going to select this rectangle. And when I do, you'll see several indicators appear that allow me to work with that. The first of which is the control handles, these black dots around my object. The little black squares allow me to affect the object. For instance, these on the side, I can squish or stretch my object, both vertically and horizontally. If I select a control handle on the corner, that allows me to work vertically and horizontally at the same time. It constrains the movement, so I'm shrinking and growing the object proportionately. This X in the middle is also a control handle. It's the move handle, which right now doesn't play a very special role because CorelDRAW allows you to grab and move an object from any point within it. But later, you'll see how it can be a very useful point in your object. We also have these open squares at the corners, the very tiny ones. Those are referred to as nodes. A node is a junction between two lines, or more precisely, an endpoint of a line. And to look at that, let's select our curve, and we'll zoom in on that. That's a Shift F2, and I'll tap F3 just to step out. And now you can see in our curve that we have three nodes, 1, 2, and 3. In between the nodes, we have line segments. Every object in Draw is created using nodes and line segments. Each line segment has at most 2 nodes, and at least 2 nodes. So every line segment has a beginning and an end, which is capped off by a node. For instance, this is the end point of this line segment. This node is the beginning of this line segment and the end point for this line segment. And then this node is the beginning of the first line segment. These points play a very special role, and you'll be looking at that later when we talk about shaping objects. For now, I'd just like to show you one more thing, and that is a separate set of control handles. You know that if you click on an object to select it, you get your control handles. You can see the nodes, you have your move handle. If you click on an object to select it, and then click again, you get your rotate and skew handles up. The rotate handles allow you to rotate your object in whatever direction and from whatever side you wish. And the skew handles do just that. It skews your object off and kind of does a controlled squish. It's related to the squish and stretch function that you see with your square handles. But in this case, it's kind of stretching it along an axis, kind of adding perspective to it. I should note also at this time that the center anchor is the anchor point for rotation. You can move that anchor point and rotate your object along an entirely new center. Very, very useful. And that's a quick look at object terminology.